Unity software is up over 15% in one day. On today's episode, we are going to take a closer look at why, especially because this is a stock we do discuss a lot in this channel. But it does have to do with AI. And while the AI market, I want to say, the AI craze sometimes can be looked as some form of hype, I do believe that at the moment, generative AI is great for companies that deal with some form of creative solutions. A few weeks ago, I talked about why I believe generative AI was going to be good for companies like Unity and Adobe, and we are already seeing kind of that turn into the case in forms of the new solutions these companies have announced. Like I mentioned, today we're going to take a closer look at Unity, so let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for their subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so Unity on June 27 today unleashed the power of AI for creators, supercharging content creation and user engagement. And for me as a video content creator, I have played around with a lot of kind of generative AI creative solutions. And the number one thing that I'm seeing is it allows people like myself who might not be a pro at Photoshop, who might not be a pro at certain kind of creative software, to really get into their solutions and create some pretty cool artwork or some pretty cool kind of masterpieces to some extent. And that's why I believe generative AI is going to be such an important role for creative companies like Unity, like Adobe, because it's going to allow your average Joe, your Joe who probably doesn't know too much about, let's say, Unity and how to create a game, but thanks to generative AI and making it a little bit easier, sure, they're not going to go out there and create a AAA game or some crazy game, but they will be able to use Unity to make some fun kind of solution for them, for their friends, for the family, and can even kind of make it a small side hustle to some extent. So let's take a closer look at this release. So Unity, the world's leading platform for creating and growing real-time 3D content, launched Unity Sentis and Unity Muse, two new AI platforms designed to make creators more productive and their real-time 3D experiencing more engagement. So we already know two things that they released, Unity Sentis and Unity Muse. Let's kind of understand what each does. So first, Unity Sentis is a cross-platform runtime inference engine that helps deploy AI models in any Unity project. So Unity Sentis, to some extent, is going to be a brain that already goes within Unity's runtime, which is installed in billions of devices already, and it's going to help kind of do a lot of the AI workload in the local hand, right? And we're going to explain a little bit of why that benefits in a bit. So right now, Unity Sentis, that's pretty much the brain that's going to be doing a lot of these AI models in local device. Then they have Unity Muse. Unity Muse consists of tools that are used to accelerate the creation of real-time 3D content. So now we learn what the second thing is. So Unity Muse is more of like a large language model that you can use to kind of create something either via text or via something. And we're going to see a pretty cool video in a bit. Unity today also launched a dedicated marketplace, and we're going to talk about the marketplace later on. I do believe that these two are the more important. So we did hear from the CEO of Unity that we believe that Unity's AI platforms will be powerful for creators and artists, as we expect Unity Muse to make them 10 times more productive, while Unity Sentis will help them bring their creation to life with interactive intelligence in a way never before possible. They do mention that harnessing the power of Unity's runtime, Unity Sentis delivers on-device AI model inference and allows creator to deploy neural networks across any platform supported by Unity. These allows creators to imagine and deliver the most interactive dynamic experiences without the need to worry about high cloud compute cost or latencies. And this is very important, right? One of the biggest challenges in generative AI right now is the cost of it being sent to some form of high cloud compute server, right? So for example, OpenAI's ChatGPT, when you write a text prompt and you kind of get a response, all the inference and all the kind of simulation and everything is happening in most likely Microsoft's cloud server. So they have to pay Microsoft for that cloud usage. Obviously, there is a team up there, but just kind of a quick breakdown of how it would do. Now, with this kind of on-device AI model, and this is something we've been talking a lot in this channel, on-device AI models with companies like Qualcomm, it reduces because that workload is happening on your phone or your computer. Sure, it might use some kind of computer power on your end, but it is going to reduce the cost and also make it faster because there's going to be no latency at the moment because it doesn't have to go to the cloud and come back. It's going to be all done on your local device. Then we did see that Unity Sensi's runtime expands the possibilities of interactive gameplay and digital twin beyond what's possible today, from smart, non-playable characters to predictive factory floors. They do mention one of the first tools available right now is Unity Muse Chat, and we'll kind of see a little bit more about that. They do mention that Unity Senses and Unity's Muse are currently available in closed beta. Developers can request access through a dedicated website, and Global General will be available later this year. So now let's take a pretty cool watch of this Unity video. It's 41 seconds, and it kind of talks about Unity's AI. So it's kind of showcasing the development of character. And here, how do I make a match 3 game? So it kind of gives you already, thanks to the large language model, how do I create a sprite or some kind of character? And again, you can do a lot of character animation, do a backflip. And I think this is insane, right? This is going to allow typical Joes like me to make some pretty cool stuff that I never thought would be possible. Changing this to a red roof and kind of be able to kind of change your models, able to kind of create texture. So I do believe this is a game changer. And again, it's going to bring more users opposed to just your traditional game developers into a company like Unity. I mean, imagine if you're a big company trying to create maybe a small digital twin of your factory. Maybe you don't want to pay your own AI developer or somebody to do it. With something like this, maybe you might be able to make something very close to your product or to your factory. And we can see even smaller companies start to do things like digital twins, where right now I believe it's mainly on the big factories, but even small players and small businesses can probably kind of engage in this system. Also, kind of think about it in the animation world, not just for content creators. If you're kind of designing maybe a cartoon, an animation, a movie, some other types of experience out there in the digital front, this is going to be a game changer, and I definitely see why Unity's stock price is up a nice amount. Now, they also kind of launched AI marketplace with this, where kind of developers can now access verified solutions to help with the creation that are using AI workloads. These kind of solutions are ranging from capabilities like generative AI, where you can generate assets for their projects using text or some other front, AI and ML integration solutions. Maybe sometimes some other company might have some pretty cool solution that you want to integrate to your game. You can do that. Behavior AI solutions, which I think is pretty cool. Let's say you have an NPC and you kind of want to make them act their own certain way without really coding it. This behavior AI solutions will allow large language models to allow this non-playable character to act depending on how the player acts to some extent. They did talk about how there's already 10 Unity verified solutions launching in the AI marketplace. I just wanted to showcase one. So this is Atlas, right? And Atlas, let's say you want to create maybe a farm game and you just want a quick layout really quick. I do believe the kind of resolution and the quality of these will grow over time, and right now it's probably pretty good for creating baseline or some simple projects. But let's say you want to create here, they kind of wrote that they wanted a stable with 2 horses in a rig, right? And it's kind of showcasing you these two, and now you're ready to go. Something like this could probably have taken minutes, maybe hours, depending on how good you are. And it kind of just improves it and kind of moves this a little bit faster for the Unity developer. Again, now someone who only has minimal experience with Unity, can use a lot of these generative AIs to kind of create my own creations. So I think this was a pretty interesting day for Unity. It's not a new day, right? If you have been following this channel, Unity AI is something we have been talking about a lot. So what I was really surprised about was that the stock price jumped 15% on this news. And sometimes I guess the market just doesn't see what's in front of them, right? This is something that has been discussed for numerous months already. Or maybe the market is just excited that maybe they thought it was going to come out at a later time. And it does seem like Unity is kind of pushing this a lot faster than maybe some investors thought. With a $16 billion market cap, I personally still enjoy Unity. I already have it as a big position in my portfolio, and I do believe with this gain, it's becoming one of my top 7, maybe even top 6 in my account right now. I have no intentions of selling. Again, it's already a big position in my portfolio, so I have no intentions of buying. saying if I didn't have Unity, I do want to say this is a stock that's very, very volatile. And there's definitely one that can have it can definitely have buying opportunities in the future. But again, such high volatility. Right now, I personally do believe the advertisement market is picking up a lot faster than Unity guided for. So I'm not going to be surprised if earnings beat expectations. But again, who am I? And I could be completely wrong. This is a company that if I didn't have a position, it would be more of like a dollar cost average. Definitely not a strong buying point. Maybe if it gets closer to the 11, $12 billion market cap in the low 30s, in the high 20s, that's where I really, really like Unity. And that's where I did a big bulk of my purchasing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.